little person in a big world. But we realize all of these different components and realize that we have such a beautiful power in the world differently now. Because now we realize how much we can give to the world. It says that each person will already know me, and knowledge of Hashem is a very important factor. So this is something when it comes to connecting to Hashem. When we have Mashiach, we'll finally be in this realm. So before Mashiach and after Mashiach, the Alter Rebbe is going into. But he says that when we're going to finally have Mashiach, it's not going to be like not understanding Hashem. We're going to understand Hashem. And it's going to be in a very way than we have ever felt and thought. And I always think about it in the sense of, well, if you look at the world now and we see how much knowledge we have as the people in this world, and we're able to really understand what is going on with everything in the world, especially when it comes to with Russia and Ukraine, how are we able to, there's this crazy war, but how are we able to even be knowing anything? It's technology, it's the knowledge that we have, the computer that we have. And so when Mashiach comes, it's going to be a similar concept. There's going to be, didn't know before. And then we're going to continue to use that and apply that to our love of God. So not to look at like knowledge of God as I feel like so many generations have done before, where it's just like this abstract, but to really internalize, the whole idea of loving Hashem, of fearing Hashem, and using that knowledge to bring our emotions within it. So if we're watching something, we get attached to it, involved in a sport, if we're involved in whatever we're doing in our life, that becomes our life, that becomes something we're attached to, that becomes something that we feel for, our emotion, if we have this respect for it, this love for it. And that's the same exact way when it comes to godliness and godly activities, and then everything else will fall into place. That the last little point is talking about connection. That there's this connection, and that creates this emotional response within all of us, whether it could be a negative response or a positive response. But here, let's say it's a positive response. We realize, wow, look how much Hashem has given us. Sometimes, I'm like so thankful hearing everyone's story in the world. And I'm like, oh, thank God we have a house. It wasn't bombed. And my kids have what to eat. Remembering my own grandmother, she grew up in the Great Depression, and they had little bread with ketchup. That was their meal. And when their tummies were hungry, that's what they ate. That didn't have anything else. So this is what this chapter is really going into. What does it really mean to love and fear Hashem? Practical way.